Okay, so let's talk about it. You are currently in a stage in your life where you're focusing the most on building stability for yourself and building structure and a legacy for yourself that you can really build on, that you can really take places. I think you're the most concerned now than you have been in your past around showing up in your community in a way that is truly embodied in your power, truly embodied. And by the way, when I say community, I do mean in your like actual physical environment, but I am seeing this more on in a broader sense. So in terms of the professional sphere that you are existing in, it's not just your like personal relationships. This is definitely involving profession. You have been feeling like you're on the right path, and that is really, really, really cool. Currently, you're in this energy of focusing on your creations, focusing on your manifestations, focusing on your own just bettering of self. And I think you're also really just allowing yourself to feel valued, to feel beautiful, to feel like you're just beautifying your space, you're beautifying yourself, you're really pouring your energy and your attention back into what you know to be the most important. And you know at this point in your journey that what's most important, that the pathway to building what it is that you want to build in this world is through nurturing yourself. And if you can nurture yourself, then you can nurture others better as well. And so this is what has been powering your manifestation and your success, and your path to success these days. But what I'm seeing is that kind of in this you're kind of in this roundabout energy where you are, like I said, focused on building the permanent structures that are going to support you and lead to abundance in the future and lead to stability in a lot of the things that you want. But there seems to be kind of like, I think there might even be an energy of things shifting around you right now. And that is causing almost a kind of confusion that you maybe didn't see coming, where you are actually heading into a period of change. And that change is going to leave you feeling like a little bit confused, a little bit lost in the dark. But it's not a negative thing. So hear me out. We have an energy here of the death reversed and the moon, which to me archetypally is like an unexpected transformation, or a transformation that you're not really prepared for, as well as kind of being lost in the dark, not really being able to see things fully for what they are. There's like an element of illusion or an element of confusion to some degree. And it might feel a little bit like trickster energy, where you saw things going a certain way. You were like, okay, I've accepted my path. I've accepted the way things are. I am committing to something. And that feels really great because it really it frees you into being able to really focus on building. So once you've accepted, okay, I'm staying here, okay, I'm living here, I'm doing this, then you it frees you up to really actually put the energy into those few pathways that you've now chosen. But what I'm seeing or feeling is that there's actually an unexpected change coming ahead of you, which maybe it's like you shouldn't even be hearing this, because it might actually I don't think it's going to change your commitment and your focus to the things that are grounded in your reality right now, because I think you're also the kind of person who is, you'll hear these messages and you'll be like, sure, I'll believe it when I see it. Right? So, and that's great. That's perfect. And so if this change does come, which is what I'm seeing in this reading, you are actually going to feel quite surprised by it. But the thing is this is like this is a natural wave of change that's coming to lift you and take you into a new paradigm of your life. So we're getting the flowing river card here. There is movement that you're going to have to surrender yourself to if you want to continue on to the next kind of phase in your journey. And I think you might wonder, is this really going to, help me build the things that I want to build? But it's because it looks a little bit, it looks like it's uprooting you to some degree, or that it's changing something structural that you've been working on, or that it's going to require you to leave something behind, or it's going to require you to just end something. But what this really is you moving towards your, not only your emotional fulfillment, that the emotional fulfillment that you have been actually designing your life towards and manifesting from in internal spaces, outwardly, but it's also bringing you into a place of independence and real self-sufficiency, real success. And I do see that there is like, it will require you to leave something behind. And I don't know what that thing is, but it's something that has been been emotionally feeding you in some way, or emotionally tending you in some way, but it's not really fully fulfilling. It's not really going to bring you the success that you want. So this process of change, this process of of the unknown that's ahead is going to ultimately lead you to that independence. And I'm getting, there's a financial independence here, but this is like more than that. This is like, and I don't mean, I mean it's more than that. It includes that, and it's more. It's like you're like going to actually be living in a state of being, like a way of being that's so exactly what you wanted that you're going to almost be confused by it. You're going to be like, how the fuck? Like, how did I get here? And you'll see that this strange time of transformation and uncertainty that's going to like shift you out of an environment and that requires you to leave things behind, you're going to be looking back and you'll be like, that was so interesting. That was so odd, because I felt bittersweet about having to leave those behind. But now look at me. I have all of this. I have everything that I've needed and everything that I want. And for some reason, as I said that, I felt in my body this like almost a resistance to saying everything that I want. So I think for you guys, you've actually been holding yourself back from accepting what it is that you really want and from claiming your desires. And I think that you don't actually I think you don't believe at some kind of fundamental level, you don't believe that you are actually worthy of the things that you want. We have the Devil and the Five of Pentacles here under that, clarifying that. And that is like, what I'm getting with this is, yeah, it's like being bound. You think that you are, this is probably subconscious, okay? I think this is a subconscious thing. But you believe to some degree that you are bound to an existence that is less than you actually desire. It's weird. You have an aspect of yourself that knows that you are amazing and worthy and intelligent and creative and confident and capable. And then you have this other side of you. There's an aspect within you that doesn't fully believe that you are actually free to be abundant. And I think that this goes really, really, really deep. This could be something that is like intergenerational, where you are keeping yourself small and you're keeping yourself low because you think that that's what you deserve. It's interesting because, like I said, your conscious mind knows that you deserve and is acting in alignment with what you deserve. And there's still this belief that's rooted so deeply within you that actually for some reason believes that you are not worthy and that you have to stay poor, or you have to stay bound to things that are vampiric, that are taking energy from you, like a job or a person. Wow, that's really intense and deep. So the solution to this is actually to, it's interesting. There's an aspect of discovery here, like self-discovery and study. And A message also to not, okay, let me just sit with this for a second. So, the solution to this is not to throw yourself into new beginnings or the unknown. You don't have to do that. This is what I'm really getting, okay? You don't have to be the one to rip open your life and throw yourself off the cliff of the unknown right now. The solution to this is actually to stay grounded and to move forward with an openness of mind to learning and to understanding yourself, and to do more introspection around this topic, around this root issue that you have. But I really want to make this clear. Do not burn yourself out by basically overdoing self-introspection, by overdoing shadow work. We're not burning ourselves out by prying ourselves open and like surgically removing aspects of ourselves. That's not what we're going to do. But you're also being encouraged not to force yourself into new shapes right now, because you're actually in a stage of your journey where you are still gaining enlightenment and you're still gaining insight. So everything is in alignment. Everything for you is in alignment. You are actually already on the path of success. This is like the main thing to know. Yes, there is a deep-seated belief that's still in your subconscious, but the process of gradual enlightenment and gradual understanding, it's actually, let me put it this way. It's actually not that you have anything more to learn. You already are extremely wise. You are not actually a beginner. You're actually really masterful in where you're at in this path, and you're masterful around your own self-understanding and self-worth. But what this is a path of wisdom. So you're currently on a path of wisdom, and you're not, I think you think that you need to continuously learn and start over and like, okay, I failed. Okay, I need to start over. And like, I can't be, I'm not responsible. And I'm not ready. So I'm just going to be in like a state of beginner's mind forever. The solution here is to basically change your perception of yourself from the fool, which is the beginner constantly, and think of yourself more as the hermit, which is an incredibly learned and wise person who has an openness of mind. Like the hermit is already incredibly wise. This is like Gandalf, right? This is like a wizard, but part of their wisdom is knowing that they always have beginner's mind, right? Or knowing that they always have more to learn. So they hold on to a sort of beginner's mind, even though they're already wise. Do you see what I'm saying? So think of yourself more like the hermit than the fool, because the fool is also a sacred energy. Like, we're not bashing the fool, but I'm just saying for you this is kind of the solution for you right now. If you are feeling like you're still in this state of confusion, or there is change ahead and you're not really sure what the heck to do, this is what you're meant to be really understanding at this time. And the devil, this belief system that you have that makes you feel like that you have to be less resourced than others or have less than others. This obviously is an illusion, right? This is something that is part of your trauma, part of your karma even, and therefore it's part of your dharma, which is the destiny, the higher path that we can take in life to free yourself from these chains that you have deeply rooted in yourself. And that is not something that you can really rush. It's something that you have to live through. You have to kind of like take yourself on a journey into self-belief, into independence, and into self-sufficiency, that then like just it reroutes your brain just by being, just by doing, right? So instead of, this is what I was saying before, instead of like sitting around and just like fucking torturing yourself doing shadow work, looking at the shadow and understanding that these aspects are there is incredibly important, right? That's like most of it. And then we just have to live. And then we just have to make choices every day that are coming from or that are in alignment with the person that we know we want to be. Knowing that the shadow is there, not trying to necessarily eradicate it, because that doesn't really work. It doesn't go away. It's actually part of us. Your shadow is part of you. Or these, your insecurities, your fears, they are in there. That doesn't mean that you live by them, and that doesn't mean that you have to kill them right away. That they are actually often transformed just through living in a way that is like beyond their reach. So if you can live beyond the reach of your fear, then you will actually just become someone who doesn't have those fears anymore, or rather those fears won't be able to reach you. They won't be able to touch you, right? Your fear can be an incredibly informative and wise thing, and it can make you a better leader. It can make you a better teacher, because that means that you understand that experience, you understand that feeling, and you can help other people, right? And not that you have to be helping other people as, your life path, but we are all living interwoven with each other. We're all living in like a network, and so we do all have an impact on other people. So your impact is even greater when you are wise enough, when you know what it's like to suffer, or what it's like to have fear, like real fear, and then to overcome it through just acting in alignment with, like I said, the self that you really are, your higher self, or your creative self, your brave self. So, 6 of Rods, 10 of Pentacles. These are the cards that you start out with. This means that, this is what I'm saying, you are already in 6 of Wands, 10 of Pentacles energy. Just because the physical reality is not showing it, or maybe it is, but maybe it's like, only some of the things only some aspects of your physical reality are reflecting this energy back to you right now. It doesn't matter. You're already like in the cycle of creation. You're already in the energy of gold. Like things are actually coming into being right now as you speak. You're creating something. You're creating something really tangible and really real. And it's valuable. I want to say that. And that means it's either you, the way that you're in relationship with yourself right now is so beautiful, and it's creating so much value. But I think you may also be like actually working on something. You're creating something, or you're building something, or your position in your financial sector is like, it's really actually having an impact, and it is becoming something tangible for you. You're supporting yourself. You're believing in yourself. You're believing in your ability. You're believing in your ability to balance lots of different things, to balance aspects of yourself, to balance what you want to create. And you're living in alignment with your capacity, I would say, or in response to your capacity. So you're bridging the link between where you want to go, where you are, through every single day doing something that you can do towards the goal. Every single day feeding the garden, every single day tending to things, every single day, you're doing upkeep, you're doing care for yourself and for your creation. And then we have this really funny like energy that's ahead of you, which is this Death reversed and Moon energy. So let me just sit with that for a second, because it's almost like a shift, but I feel like it's bringing something really sacred to you. The way that I'm experiencing that energy is like a soft blanket, like a soft, dark blanket. It really feels like nighttime, but it doesn't feel like scary nighttime. It feels like quiet, like sleep. It really feels like sleep. It feels like rest. So, what's ahead of you is there is an energy of it's transition or transformation, but not in a way that's tower moment. Okay? So, transition is the word that I was really getting. The kind of transition that is sleep, the kind of transition that is night. From one day to another day, there's this period of darkness. And within that darkness, we rest. We turn off our conscious mind and we allow the subconscious to, or the unconscious to like take over, to finally come to the surface, right? To finally like take over our brain. And that's kind of what I'm seeing. For some reason, that is what is ahead of you. And I'm really feeling like a positive energy from that. I'm feeling a positive energy of rest. But it's not rest just like you need to take a nap, although take a nap. But this is like, I'm feeling very much goddess, like divine feminine kind of energy. To me, it actually feels like gratitude. Like you experiencing this energy that's ahead of you, you are going to be feeling relief. You are going to be feeling gratitude. You get to, let me put it this way, you get to finally relax. You get to finally walk, no, not walk, but you get to live in a way that allows you to not struggle, to not strive. You don't have to be understanding things. This is the energy that you're moving into. You are not going to be concerning yourself with how things are going to unfold anymore, because you're so grounded in your present moment and you're so grounded in the integrity that is you right now, how you're acting, how you're showing up for yourself, and what you're creating, that your future exists as this like beautiful unknown. And something about that shift for you is like so relieving. It's almost like it's a soft, dark, cozy blanket for your nervous system. Is what I'm really getting here. It feels velvety. Really, it feels buttery soft. Flowing river, okay? This is talking about the energy that you're moving into, because you are like, this is full surrender. You're fully surrendering. And in the past, when you were still like way more overtaken by this energy of lack and fear and anxiety, or just feeling like you were out in the cold, as they say, if somebody told you to surrender, you would like in some way be frustrated by that, or I think you would feel almost like a kind of despair with that, because when you're in a moment in your life or you're in a period of your life where you feel like you have to strive and you have to prove yourself and you have to be struggling against something all the time, to be told to surrender just doesn't feel like an answer. It doesn't feel like a good answer, and it doesn't feel realistic. But now, because you've gotten into this energy of actually being like you have arrived, right? You've just decided to arrive in your life. That's the difference. That's what I'm talking about. It's like you still have these fears deep within, sure, but it's not stopping you. It's not going to stop you from feeling like you've already arrived in your life. And so because of that shift, that's the shift. That's the difference. Because you've already arrived in your life, you now can actually embody the energy of the flowing river, which is full surrender. And now that surrender actually feels like true release. It feels like rest. It feels like deep soul level relaxation. And the thing about, okay, this is the other thing. The thing about this true relaxation of the soul that you are allowing yourself to have now, that doesn't mean that it's like completely beautiful all the time, or that it's completely peaceful. Just like how when we're asleep, we can have like nightmares, we have dreams, right? We have things that are confusing and bizarre. That still might be part of your experience of this, where you're like, ooh, what if I can't? Or there is still an element of the unknown that can be intimidating or that can be confusing. But overall, like I said, the focus is on what you're doing in this moment and what you can create now and how you can beautify your life and yourself now. So that doesn't really matter. You know what I mean? The main message here, which is so important, is the future legacy. We have 10 of Pentacles, right? The future legacy and the 6 of Wands, success of the success of you, right? It's not ahead of you. So this reading is literally a message that's like almost an antidote to all the like hope core messages and stuff that we are like constantly coming up on our feeds. It's like, this is the antidote to that, because instead of this energy of 10 of Pentacles and 6 of Wands being just ahead of you in the position of future, this energy is in the position of your recent past, which is amazing. So, and then, do you know what's in the present? The position of the present is the Queen of Pentacles and 2 of Pentacles, which means that you're like actively creating. So this energy of the success and the permanent stability and love, you have literally cultivated it in your own energy field already. You are living inside that. That's why. So basically, I don't have to tell you that it's coming for you, because you already are living in it. And as you actively create and manifest every single day, little things, little steps at a time from that energy, you have nothing to worry about. Do you see what I'm saying? And what this is doing, we have 8 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles here. This literally, it creates you into the person that you, like, this is the thing. There's no future energy here. This is what we're talking actually about, present energy, right? This is what you are doing right now. What you're doing right freaking now. You're in the river. You're in the flowing river. You're in the flow. And this brings us back to this Hermit and Fool energy too, which is like, see, you don't have to think of yourself as starting fresh. You don't have to think of yourself as at the beginning, because you're freaking not. You're basically at the end, so to speak. This is a spiritual notion. There is no end. There's only the now. And the Hermit knows that. The Hermit is like the wizard, right? He's like the wise iteration, the much older version of the magician, in a sense, where he's like, he's a wanderer. He's someone who lives in the world and then gains wisdom through his travels. He's also called the pilgrim sometimes. I'm getting, like, mythologically or archetypally, he's called the pilgrim. So there's this energy of letting go, releasing. Like, you're so spiritually advanced that you're releasing your attachments to certain physical signs of success or physical signs of what's the word I'm looking for? Of progress. And like, you really are leaving things behind. That's what I'm getting with this 8 of Cups as well. It's like, part of this whole message too is that you will probably be moving, or you'll probably be shifting or changing from one state of, or one place, and like an emotional environment of some kind, into another. And that's literally just part of this process. It's just part of your manifestations right now, because you have shifted in your energy so drastically that like you simply have to move forward from certain situations. You have to move on, out and onward. But you're not taking a lot with you, because the pilgrim shows up in this card too. Like, that's someone who's walking with no belongings. And the funny thing is, this whole message is so funny and paradoxical because spiritually and in some ways, I think physically, that is what you're doing. Like you're releasing things. You might be like getting rid of a lot of belongings. Give everything to donation, like just get rid of stuff because you understand that like when you get rid of things, it makes empty space for new things to come in. And there's a lot in your past that like the old is there can actually be physical objects in your life that hold energy from the past paradigm that you really don't need or want in your life anymore, and you shouldn't have it around you. But this is also like a spiritual exercise, I think, for you, where you're like, actually just let me give everything away, like give of myself, not of my energy, not to do what I used to do where I thought I had to work to prove myself and nothing ever came of it. This is not that. This is like I am so sustained within myself that I realize I don't really need much in the external. So I can release so much of this. And I can also detach myself from situations that I clearly am not resonating with anymore. And the irony of this whole thing is that it actually makes you more abundant physically, more beautiful, more wealthy, more sustained, more driven, more just like more it. Like the Nine of Pentacles is the boss bitch, but she's like it girl. She's not bossing people. She's not being, the emperor vibe of controlling at all. She's just living in her best fucking life. This person can live wherever she wants. This person can, she can speak to spirit as well as the thing. Like she's so connected to her God self that her manifestations just bloom around her very easily. But the God self connection is what's most important here for this person. They know that their wealth and their happiness comes from their ability to connect with God and connect to the spirit realm. To connect, not the spirit realm necessarily, but like just to truth, and to their own spiritual nature. That's what's most important. And that's what you are focusing on now, instead of focusing on how, shitty things can be when you don't, when you don't believe in yourself and when you think that you're like bound to certain ways of being. Instead of focusing on that, that's something that like exists in you as, as a shadow. But you don't live by your shadows anymore. You live in the light. You live fully in the light. And because you are wise as the pilgrim hermit, you understand that shadow is part of God itself as well. And so you're not running away from shadow. You're not running away from fear. You're not running away from, the unknown even. You're just like, I can keep going because I am sufficient. Ooh, that was a good one. And, we will end this message on a note of live in joy right now. Like, just enjoy this process of work and creation and beautifying and, just being in touch with spirit and with nature and with your world. That is so exactly where you need to be right now. Another message that came through the other day and that I'm going to repeat now is purification is really important right now, or really helpful processes to purify your energy. And we're not doing like purity policing or anything like that. It's not about being clean or virginal or white or anything like that. It just means to kind of degunk the activity of the mind and to degunk like literally sort of hitchhiker energy that can get stuck in our aura. And doing practices like sauna or sweat or like puja or, just spiritual and like meditation, really important. Like things like that are going to help you to really, like I said, release excess in general, release heaviness, and to stay in that creative alignment stage that you're in right now. Just stay good with things, like that's the vibe. It's so queen. It's so it's so girly. I just love this. This is like so juicy and rich and shiny. Like This is a very auspicious kind of energy that I'm feeling, and very, very abundant. This is true abundance. And abundance, yes, does like involve having, riches and wealth and resources and things that you need. But like I said, like this is an energy that you are fully cultivating inside yourself energetically, and you actually know that that's the truth beyond everything else. And it's great because it allows you to like kind of just go wherever you need to go to follow where life is going to lead you next. And yeah, I do see that there is something coming ahead of you, or like a shift or a change that's ahead of you that you cannot see right now. And that's great. You're not supposed to see it because you're in this flowing river stage. But there is definitely something coming in for you. And we'll do another reading on that maybe ahead, but I just want you to feel so peaceful and so grounded with this message, and to know that you're already in the energy of the success. So just keep going. Just keep doing that. Beautiful. Just keep doing you. Okay, thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.